Great. We'll start sitting. Sitting in any kind of comfortable cross-legged position. Crown of the head lifted, relaxing the shoulders down and back. And we check in with the state of the physical body. We can touch index fingers to thumbs here if you like. Noticing sensations that are present in your lower limbs and hips. The lower back. Spine. Chest and shoulders. You may want to move your head a little bit to see how your neck is feeling. And sensing the sensations of the skull and face. I'm taking the hands on the knees, and we're just going to move in a circular pattern through the spine. So to the side, front, side, and back. Mostly moving the upper spine. Making these little circles, using your hands for support. And it doesn't have to be a huge motion. Noticing the sensation in your spine and your chest, upper back, all that stuff. In reverse direction. Spiraling through the spine. And up to the center, little cat cow. So tailbone and top of the head forward, using your hands as support to round the back, and then inhaling, the chest comes forward, shoulder blades slide down and back. Connecting with the breath. One more big breath like this. Coming up into a neutral spine, and we'll come into a tabletop position. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And one more time, cat cowing through the spine. This time, you can really move the lower back. Inhaling, top of the head and tailbone up the ceiling. And exhaling, dropping the tail, and the top of the head towards the floor. With your own breath, on the next inhale, coming into a neutral spine, tucking the toes under, stretching through the arches of the feet. We press the hips back. And breathe here. And inhaling through tabletop, exhaling into downward facing dog. We take a couple of breaths here. The knees are bent and the heels lifted. Back of the neck is long. So connecting with the breath, and we move through these positions a couple of times. The inhaling through tabletop. Exhale the hips towards the heels, stretch the toes. Inhale through tabletop. Exhale downward facing dog. Connecting each movement with the breath. Inhaling tabletop. Exhale hips to heels. Inhale through tabletop. Exhale downward dog. Two more times like that. Inhale tabletop. Exhale the hips to the heels. Inhale. Exhale downward dog. Last one. The hips are getting nice and round. and the toes stretching. And then we'll take 3 breaths in downward facing dog, making the adjustments that you need and treading through the feet, bending one knee and then the other. Up the feet towards the hands, bent knee forward, bend, relax the lower back, let your head be heavy. Smooth even breaths in and out through the nose, let the spine release here. The feet are relatively underneath your hip sockets. We're going to shift as low into a squat as you can until your heels lift up on the inhale. And then exhale, stretch the legs and fold. Alternating pattern. Inhale, lift up, resting on the toes. Exhale into the forward bend. Two more times like that. And back in the forward bend. Soft knees, drop the tail, and roll up through the spine. That is the last thing to arrive. Shoulders come up, back, and down. Stepping to the front of your mat, taking the hands in front of the heart, and really sensing the feet on the floor. Heel, outside edge of the sole of the foot, the balls of the feet. The arch is lifted, toes relaxed. Bring the palms of the hands to the front, drop the shoulders down and back to Tadasana, the mountain pose. Nice and solid here, and then we shift our weight onto the balls of the feet. The arms come up to frame the ears, lifting the heels. Find a little balance moment, and then press everything back down. 2 more times. Reaching up. Bring down, nice and slow. Wobbling your spine. Last one. Good. Inhale, reach up. Open the chest. Exhale, practice arms, drawing the shoulder blades down and back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together a little bit. Breathe in. Reaching the pinkies back, circling the arms around. On the next exhale, we press the palms forward, feeding that arch through the spine. Inhale, pressing the palms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale through the center, exhale to the other side. And back through to the Tadasana mountain pose, feeling grounded through the feet. Inhale, upward salute with the end of the thumb. Exhale, soften the knees, coming into the forward bend, Uttasana. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head away from the tail, flat back. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping back to the top of the push-up here. You can take 3 breaths. Always welcome to drop the knees as needed. Reaching back through the heels and the crown of the head. Inhale. As you exhale, you go all the way down to the belly. You can drop your knees here if you need to. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Draw the shoulder blades back, open chest. Using the strength of your back muscles first. On the next exhale, release the spine down, vertebra by vertebra. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades down and back, opening the chest. Exhale, release. One more time, connected with the breath. And then we're going to come up into cobra. So using the strength of our back first, then we press into the hands. Coming up into Bhujangasana, the cobra pose. Reshifting the hips back to child's pose. Any variations in child's pose are welcome. We're going to press through the hands and push our hips towards our heels first to lengthen the spine before extending the arms. Dropping the forehead down. You can take your knees wide apart. You can also stack your hands and rest forehead on stacked hands. Rolling through the spine and coming back into that tabletop position. Adjust your knees underneath the hips. Tuck the toes under and hips come up and back. Downward facing dog. Walking the feet towards the hands. Soft forward bend. Knees are soft here. Relax the back of the neck. Hands can rest anywhere. Thighs and knees here. So you heel toe the feet towards the outside edge of the mat. If your legs are a little longer, you might want to take more space, shifting the hips down and back, coming in to Malasana, the yogi squat. So wherever that is for you today, it's fine. You take the hands in front of the heart, lightly pressing the outsides of the arms of the insides of the knees. And planting the hands on the floor, the right leg is going to step back onto the ball of the foot. So we're coming into lizard pose Front foot is still turned out. Rocking the hips from side to side. Get some movement into the hip flexor. And then we'll step the right foot back into our squat. 3. Plant the hands, left foot comes back. Lizard pose. Rocking the hips from side to side. And step right back into our squat. Taking the hands in front of the heart once more. 3 breaths here. Release the lower back. Let's try to lift the chest a little bit, shifting the weight back into the heels. Through the hand. This time taking this wide, turned out forward bend. Feeling the stretch on the outside of the leg. You rest your hands on your shins. And feel the feet back underneath the hips. Uttanasana forward bend. Drop the tail, bend the knee around the spine. And we roll up through the spine, vertebra by vertebra, shoulders coming up, back, and hands in front of the heart. Anjali Mudra. 3 breaths. From here, we're going to step the right foot back, slightly turn out, and come into Virabhadrasana, Warrior 1. I like my hands wide here. Some people like to bring the palms together. All options welcome. Smoothing and breathing out through the nose. And now open the chest, exhale, rotate into Warrior 2. Now the left leg is externally rotated, facing the side. Pressing evenly in both directions. Shifting our weight towards the back leg, coming into a half skandasana. So you don't need to drop your pelvis. This is a high squat. Inner thigh is stretch, and the right quad is pretty active. And then we'll sweep across into a runner's stretch. Step the feet together. Uttanasana forward bend. Dropping the tail, rounding the spine, and rolling up. Vertebra by vertebra. Anjali Mudra, the palms come together in front of the heart. Breathe here. Same thing on the opposite side. The left foot steps back, slightly turned out. Warrior 1. Breathing here. Strong foundation. And open the chest, exhale, rotate. Warrior two. Looking out of the right fingertips. And we'll shift everything towards the back foot. A high half squat. Lift and stretch on the inside of this right leg. Sweep across the floor into the lunge. Feet together. Into the forward bend, you might want to bend one knee and then the other, feeling the alternating length in your hamstrings. And you soften the knees, round the back, and roll up vertebra by vertebra. Let's bring the shoulders up, back, and down through mountain pose, palms facing front. Round it through the feet, and then come to Anjali Mudra, the hands in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up, looking at the thumbs. Exhale, forward bend. Planting the hands here. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head away from the tail. And then exhale through the top of a push-up. Knees down as needed, all the way to the floor. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tail. On the next inhale, using the strength of your back to draw the shoulder blades back and down and the chest open. Exhale, laying one vertebra at a time back onto the floor. One more time, inhale, draw the shoulder blades back, open chest. And then press into the palms. Keep the shoulders nice and low as you come up into your cobra. We take a little pelvic rock from side to side. Again, working on the hip flexors and the side body. And we'll press back into whatever version of child's pose you like the best. Knees together, knees apart, arms extended, or hands stacked. Pressing into the palms of the hands and lifting the chest and armpits up, walking the hands over to the right, keeping your hips where they are, coming into a side stretch here. Release your weight into the left rib cage. And the space underneath your left armpit. And walk back to the center. Press the hips back towards the field once more to reset. And then walk our hands over to your left. Same thing. Find the side stretch and then release the weight of your body into the right rib cage and the space underneath your right arm. Come back to center once more. Press the hips back towards the heels. One more time, extended child's pose. All variations are welcome here. 10 deep breaths. And we roll ourselves back into the tabletop, shifting knees and hands so that they're relatively stacked with our joints. And take the right leg out to the side. If you have space, if you need to reorient yourself, that's fine. Just extending the right leg straight out to the side so the inside of the foot is on the floor. Wait, let's see. And then we're just rocking our hips back and forward. Finding a little stretch in the adductor, the inside of the thigh. On your own timing, noticing sensations that come up. We're going to add some external rotation. So shift the hips back and then rock up onto the heel, lifting the toes up. Shift the hips forward and then bring the inside of the foot back. So a little alternating pattern. Notice how it moves to stretch around. Two more like that. Shifting back, externally rotating the hip, coming it forward. Bringing the inside of the foot back down. Coming back through the tabletop. And we'll bring the left leg out to the side this time. You're rocking forward and back on your own timing to start, and just noticing all the stuff that's going on. And we'll add the external rotation here. So shifting the hip back, rocking onto the heel, toes in the air, shifting forward, and then bringing the inside of the foot back down. And you can notice how it moves the stretch around, giving different aspects of the inner thigh and hamstring. Also, these small precise movements are really good for our nervous system, our ability to access the muscles that we want. This is the last one. Like coming back into your tabletop and sitting on the heels. I take my feet wider than my hips and bring my hips in between my heels, the hero's pose. As always, if you want to slide a block or a cushion underneath your hips, that's fine. Little stretch on the fronts of the ankles, or a big stretch, and the quads in front of the leg here. Take a couple of breaths, just releasing the pelvis down towards the floor, giving into gravity. Take a couple of breaths, and then we'll shift our weight onto the right heel. So I'm sitting on my right heel, lift the left knee up. This is half of Malasana, the squat. Shift the weight back and drop the knee. Shifting over the left, little squat. Shifting, floating the feet together. Shift the weight to the right, float the foot. Alternating. Trying to move softly, not just fall in one direction or the other. And coming back to center. Hands on the floor, tuck the toes under, knees are together, stretch through the arches of the feet, and walking our hands back. Finding a little balance on the balls of the feet. Smoothing the breaths in and out through the nose. See if you can stack the shoulders over the hips. If it feels good, taking the hands in front of the heart. It's possible to keep your balance. See if you can press your heels forward, coming more onto the toes. Stretching the arch of the foot. Bring your hands to the floor. Little hamstring stretch, Uttanasana. All the way back down, bend the knees, using the support of your hands, back through the toe balance. One more time. And placing the hands on the floor, softly releasing to sit once more on the heels. Releasing that stretch through the ankles. No problem. To sit, elevating your hips on the cushion if you like. Starting with the soles of the feet together first. All their toes. And walking the hands forward. Little forward bend. It doesn't have to be crazy. Just releasing the lower back and the hips after the work we've been doing. Let your head be heavy, lengthening the back of the neck. Nice and rounded through the spine. Releasing the upper and lower back. And then the stack vertebra, tailbone, all the way up to the head. Amazing. Any cross-legged position that you like. I like Sukhasana with one heel close to my body, stacking the other heel either on top or in front. Lengthening the crown of the head away from the tail, drawing the shoulder blades down and back. Index fingers touching the thumbs. We'll start by just watching the natural breath for a few rounds, noticing the path of the breath in and out through the body. No need to judge or change it. So if the breath is shallow, that's fine. If it's deep, that's fine. Trying to relax the muscles of the face and the jaw. As you watch your breath, you may notice that it becomes a little bit longer and slower. Without any undue effort, can you exaggerate the length of the exhalation just a little bit? And then bringing your hands to rest on your abdomen, inviting the belly to be soft and relaxed. Sending your breath into the belly, using your diaphragm to expand your belly button towards your hands. And then back towards your spine. Releasing all effort, returning to Janana Mudra, index fingers touching thumbs. And turn the palms of the hands towards the knees, holding, imagining that you're holding your energy inside the body, normal breathing. And simply observe once more the path of the breath through the body. And just like we did at the beginning of class, scanning mentally through the physical body, noticing the states of your lower limbs and your hips. Any changes that might have occurred by moving through the joints. Awareness of the lower back, the whole spine, trunk of the body, chest and shoulders, neck, skull, and the muscles of the face. Bring the palms of the hands together in front of the heart, thumbs lightly touching the sternum. Loka Samasa Supino Bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all beings everywhere be healthy, happy, and free. Peace, peace, peace. And as we bow forward, thumbs touch the eyebrow center. Podium to the back. And thank you for practicing.